What if I told you we've been living in a scam since 1971? What if I then told you starting in 1981, that scam got even worse? Imagine a world where the people at the top always win no matter what, and you keep losing no matter how hard you work. Sounds like our modern day world, right? Well, that's the scam. Ever since we were taken off the gold standard in 1971 and computers became an absolute necessity for businesses, starting in 1981 with the rapid growth and expansion of computers, we've been living in a giant scam perpetuated by the elite, wealthy, upper executive class. Pretty much all of those in charge were able to rig the game so they always keep winning and you keep losing. Let me explain. So, 1971, we removed the gold standard. Our money is no longer backed by a hard asset like gold. It's now fiat. We can print into infinity. Why is that important in this situation? Well, when that happens and inflation occurs, it rapidly increases the price and value of the assets before increasing the value and the payout of the wages. Who owns all of the assets and who has been concentrating the ownership of all of these types of assets, whether it's stocks, real estate, now crypto, whatever it is, the wealthy and the elite have been concentrating the assets for this exact reason. As the currency gets debased and inflation increases, their assets increase far greater and far faster than your wages ever could. An important fact is in 1980, the CEO to average worker pay was 20-1. By 2020, that number had shot up to 344-1. Yet American productivity has absolutely skyrocketed, especially with computers joining the workforce, but we're not there yet. So back to what I was saying. Now the wealthy elite asset owning class, their assets are skyrocketing in price far faster than your wages could. Now, let's get to the computers, because for about 10 years, things are very transitory. We're going through a lot of change. It's the 70s. Now the 80s are rolling forward. And by 1981, that's when computers really got their foot inside of the workforce. And you're probably wondering, how does the assets increasing in value by the owner ruling class matter, and why is the gold standard being removed matter in terms of a scam and the computers being involved? Well, here we go. Let me explain it. So, the people in charge before computers were a thing, they had to still manually monitor and physically run the business. Like the administration work that's now all done by the computers, it used to be done by people, but now it's done by the computer. So as technology got more easy and friendlier to use, all of the executives, the C-suites, management, everyone who was just sitting at their desk all day as someone above you, all they are doing is reading the screen and having the computer tell them what they need to tell you what to do. They aren't inputting any of the data into the computer, nor are they completing any of the tasks associated with the computer system. They're just monitoring it all day and then telling you what to do. Yet, they also command a very large salary and can totally ruin your life if they wanted. So, think about it. The people in charge who own all the assets, and they're seeing that their assets increase in value faster than your wages increase, are also the same people who get to do no physical or actual work associated with the business. That's what you do. You do all of the work. They make you do all the tasks. They just sit there all day and monitor what the computer is telling them that you're doing. And then based on the results of your actions, because they've made you believe only they're smart enough to communicate with the computer and understand what it's telling you, you happily obey and follow all of their commands and their tasks. You follow your boss no matter what they say, yet all they're doing all day is sitting in their office looking at the computer screen, not doing necessarily the main tasks associated with it, and telling you what to do. Now, they make most of the money, like I said, 344 to 1. And because it's gotten so much more automated and there's more even AI today and software is even more friendlier, and now you as the American worker are also using a computer and your productivity is skyrocketing, you're making less money and your money is worth less now because the debasement of the currency. So you keep working more to make less money, and because you're working so much for someone else, you're making them more money, and subsequently, because of the inflation, their assets are rapidly increasing in value far faster than your wages are. So, what are we understanding? We live in a giant institutionalized scam. This is where the lobbying comes in and why people cry for lower interest rates or regulation that favors them. If the corporations can get the government to lower interest rates or make regulations more favorable for them, they can take out loans against their assets, never having to sell their assets, and they get terms you could never normally get because of their connections and everything they've done. But in general, the lower interest rate enables more lending and being able to take out more loans against your assets. So these people never have to sell their assets, they only increase in value, and they're not doing any of the work. They make you do everything. They steal your wages, they steal your future because they want every single day to be Christmas for them and their family. Well, I have some very bad news for those families. Every day cannot be Christmas. Eventually, the bill will have to be paid. It doesn't matter how many times you kick the can down the road, eventually the bill will show up at your front door. And this is what financial crashes usually stem from. Enough people are being so reckless within the economy and getting into so much debt and not paying it back. There's no way to pay back the lender. Therefore, everyone has to default and boom, the economy crashes. Now, the question is, who gets bailed out? And as we see in 2008, all of the banks, even before that, the airlines, whatever it was, the wealthy and elite, they were able to privatize the losses or privatize the gains, but socialize the losses, which means the government wrote off the losses for them, which means we ultimately, the taxpayer, the working common class, paid for the failure of all the wealthy and elite and executive class, while they kept all the profits for themselves. This is why we must take our country back. These people will literally work you to death, tax you to death, and then make you pay for their mistakes, all while never letting you see even a dime of the reward. Like I always keep saying, change your mind, change how you speak, change how you act, and we'll take this country back.